anything like me, maybe you like driving on the beach. Maybe you don't know the best way to go about it. I know that I sure didn't when I first started coming out here. Back when I first started, I used to come out here with a tool like this, and I would air my tires down by doing that. That takes way too long. The next thing I started doing was removing the valve stem core. This works very, very well. The problem is that you can lose that valve stem core. Now, I would start bringing extras in my little baggie here, but then it got to the point where I would air this one down, go to the next one, go to the next one, go to the next one, and by the time I got back here, you know, I'd check it out, check it out, check it out, and I'd be pretty close. I'd get this one close, I'd get that one close, and by the time I made my way all the way around there, the last tire would just be lower than all the rest of them. So I looked for another option, and I found these. They're called trailhead deflators. I bought these probably in 2011 or 2012, and they're probably the easiest things to really use to do this job now. Literally, we pull up to the gate, and even on a busy day, we can get out, take the valve stem caps off, screw these things on, put the truck in four-wheel drive, and then drive right onto the beach. It's about a 200-yard drive in order to get out onto the actual sand here. So by the time we get out there, the tires are already going to be at about 20-25 psi. Now, I did preset all of these specifically at 20 psi. And I'll do another video that basically goes over how to do that. But for now, I'm just going to walk around here and get all these on here. Your truck may have automatic four-wheel drive hubs. If it does, great. I still recommend locking them anyway. So, hop in, let's go. General rule of thumb, you want to air down to about 20 psi. My truck in particular weighs 10,000 pounds. A lot of these other vehicles that come out here might be a little bit lighter. Or, well, they're definitely a little bit lighter. You maybe don't have to go all the way down to 20 for them, but I've always found that 20 psi, I've never had an issue, never got stuck, just been able to drive out, and it's been perfect every time. With that being said, I also put the truck in four-wheel drive low. You do not have to do that, but this beach is approximately 13 miles long. I like being able to run all the way to the very end of the beach down here, and when I'm in 4 low, my transmission stays nice and cool all the way down because I can get the converter to lock in 5th gear because I'm in 4 low. So, as a general rule of thumb, driving down the beach and you see a place you want to go, you want to come to a stop without hitting your brakes, but you don't want to just necessarily let off the gas pedal. You can, but you slowly let off and let the truck roll to a stop. This way you don't build sand up in front of your tires. The same idea or the same principle happens when you want to go to take off. Don't take off fast, take off slow. Ease into it. It also helps keep the beach from being super rutted up or super bumpy, which is going to really help out the other people that are driving around out here. So we drove about an hour to get down here to Assateague. I've now been driving on the beach for about 30 minutes. We're coming up, I don't know, we're probably 2/3 of the way down to the Virginia line. Because I'm in 4 low, my truck's coolant temp is 182, my oil temp is 192, and my transmission temp is 151. Now, coolant would have to be like 250 or more to be alarming. Oil temp would have to be 250 or more in order to be alarming. And transmission temp realistically would have to be like 220 or so before I'm like, I need to pull over. Long story short, I put the truck in four-wheel drive low specifically so that I can get the truck into the final gear or next to final gear with the torque converter locked. When the torque converter is locked, it does not create heat. Also, what I've noticed is that when I put the truck in 4 low, it makes it a lot easier for the starts and the stops. Basically, the engine will try to slow you down, as well as the transmission when you let off the gas pedal. And then when you go to take off and you're in sand and you've got your tires aired down, the truck just takes off easier. So while you might not need four-wheel drive low for every experience, it certainly makes long driving on the beach very easy on you and your truck. Now, I don't remember if in the instructions or not, it said that you were allowed to drive on these particular style of deflators. But I know on the other set that I bought recently, it said that you're not supposed to. I will be honest though, I've done it without issue. As you can see, you let the air out of the tire, it's kind of bulging off to the side. You can see the tracks where we backed up. So even though this sand is real fluffy, have no issue at all driving on it. So, at the end of the day, you need to air your tires back up to whatever your manufacturer's spec is. In this particular case, these tires call for 80 psi. I'm not running 80 psi in these things. I'm gonna probably air them back up to about 60. I'm gonna be back out here tomorrow as well. You need to make sure that you bring a gauge with you that goes up to whatever your desired pressure is. This one actually only goes up to 40, so what I'll do is I'll max it out at 40, and I'll go grab my other one that I have in the other side of the truck to finish it off. When you're done, make sure you put your little caps back on because it keeps sand from getting in here on this little valve stem core, and that right there can make your tire lose pressure over the next couple of days.